guys, Willie here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're reviewing the all-new 2024 Genesis G70 3.3 Turbo Sport Prestige.
And a big thanks to Jeremy and the rest of the management and staff here at Fitzgerald Genesis in Clearwater, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to our inventory below, and if you're looking for a new premium car or SUV in the Clearwater, St. Petersburg, Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And as for Jeremy.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the G70 has been Genesis' compact luxury sports sedan since 2019. Facelifted for 2022, and for 2024, the G70 gets standard Brembo brakes, heated seats, touch-sensitive climate control, a frameless auto-dimming rear-view mirror, among other small changes, like the addition of USB-C ports, new colors, and wheel designs. The big change for the 2024 G70 is that Genesis dropped the 2-liter turbo, which cranked out 252 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. The new 2.5-liter turbo cranks out a much beefier 300 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque, enough to get the G70 to 60 in the low 5-second range. The 2024 G70 is available in 3 trims, ranging from the $41,000 base 2.5T up to the $50,000 twin-turbo 3.3-liter Sport Advanced, giving you the more powerful 3.3-liter turbo, which cranks out 365 horsepower, 376 pound-feet of torque, all the way up to the $54,000 fully loaded 3.3 turbo Sport Prestige that you see here. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So as far as exterior styling since 2022, really not a whole lot has changed. The big difference, as you mentioned, for the 2024 G70 is the base power plant. But here we have the complete opposite. It's the top of the line 3.3 twin turbo Sport Prestige, and this is probably my personal favorite way to go with a G70. However, that $41,000 base does give you a lot of value for the money. Regardless, up front we have our forward-facing camera helping us out at 360, panel for the advanced safety features, Genesis badge right up front. Full LED headlamps with black headlight housing, LED daytime running light, and a high and low beam both projector LED. Full front parking sensing, as you mentioned, ton of airflow both in the corners, help us out with cooling for the brakes, cooling for the radiator, and intercooler down below. Very clean overall exterior design. When comparing styling to the German competition like the Mercedes-Benz C43 AMG or the BMW M340i, this G70 3.3-liter Sport Prestige doesn't look any worse in my opinion. Performance-wise, it's very competitive to the Mercedes, a tad slower than the M340i, but as far as styling, for a base price under $50,000 with 3.3 turbo, $54,000 with a Sport Prestige, you're sitting under the base price of the German competition, and this thing is fully loaded. The wheel and tire setup is really impressive. Genesis and Hyundai, for the most part, have been doing some really impressive wheel designs. Kia too, we get the 4-piston Genesis Brembo brake caliper. The Brembos are now standard on all 2024 G70s. Up front, we get a contrasted tire setup. There's Summer Performance, Michelin Pilot Sport 4 summer tires, some of the stickiest tires in the business. The front dimensions being 225/40 ZR19s. You'll see how these 225 wide tires feel when it comes to grip through the turns, and we get 255s out rear, which we'll check out in 1 second. We get this beautiful blue metallic paint color too. Hopefully you can pick it up. There you guys go. That's probably a better angle. It is a beautiful color. I believe it's called Tasman Blue. We get a functional heat extractor in the corner, a light helping us out with a 360-degree camera, LED turn signal on the mirror, 2-tone contrasted mirror, blind spot monitoring on the glass. We get the smoked chrome trim for the window trim, panoramic moonroof up top, smart access for the driver and front passenger. We don't get smart access out rear, but not necessarily necessary. Hopefully you guys can pick up this window sticker. There you go. It is centered on this 2024 G70 rear-wheel drive 3.3-liter turbo Sport Prestige twin turbo. Standard features, you guys can pause, take a look at all of the standard features on a base sub $50,000 Genesis G70. Options, $650 for the Tasman Blue paint, $4,400 additional charge for the Sport Prestige package, giving you the electronically controlled suspension, which basically sells this package completely by itself, limited slip differential, also a huge upgrade, heads-up display, Napa leather seats, microfiber suede headliner and pillars, 360 monitor, blind spot view monitor, which allows you to see what's in your blind spots when activating the turn signals, and a heated steering wheel. Accessories, $160 for the reversible cargo tray, $45 for the first aid kit, $85 for the bumper applique, $85 for the wheel locks too, $12.50 for the inland freight and handling charge, totaling us out at $56,625. Fuel economy solid, 21 combined, 18 in the city, 27 on the highway. So for a total price of $56,000, there isn't a single option and feature that this vehicle doesn't have outside of maybe four-wheel drive. But as you'll see in this review, it puts the power down really well with this limited slip differential. We don't get a push to open gas cap. I'll show you the latch is inside. Full LED taillights, turn signals, and the reverse lights in the outsides of the license plate area. Smoke G70 badge in the corner, 3.3T next to it, Genesis in the center, backup camera with the button to open up the trunk right above. I like how Genesis integrates the rear spoiler too. The 2024 Sonata has a similar design. We get a pretty aggressive diffuser in the center and a quad exhaust tip setup, which is active. And speaking of the exhaust tips, let's fire up this 3.3 liter twin turbo V6 and hear how she sounds. Alright guys, that was the sound of the 3.3 liter twin turbo V6 sold by Genesis for the 2024 G70, and it sounds pretty good, making a very healthy amount of power at 365 horsepower, 376 pound-feet of torque, made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission and rear-wheel drive. You can expect 0 to 60 in around 4.5 seconds, making it a no-joke performer, especially considering the price point. We get strut tower braces too. Hydraulic struts are appreciated, but other than that, what you see is what we get. We shut the hood right down, take a step back, walk around this 2024 Genesis G70 one more time. It is a beautiful sports sedan. And for a compact sports sedan, I think this is one of the more spacious ones in the segment too. But speaking of that, let's check out this interior and see what we get with a top of the line, fully loaded Genesis G70. Thank God that Wasp decided to not go inside of the car. Anyway, up top, we get soft touch material, no leather stitching, but for the price point, this is still really premium. We get 3 Lexicon speakers on the door panel. This is one of the best sound systems in the business. We get quilted Napa leather for the middle portion of the door panel with red contrast stitching, cushy soft armrest, 4-window auto one touch, power folding mirrors, 4-way adjustable mirrors. The materials down here, hard plastic, but very solid amount of storage. You'll easily fit a foot long, maybe stack 2 on top of each other. We get an aluminum Genesis nameplate as you step inside. The seats are also Napa leather with diamond quilts in the center, heated and ventilated, fully adjustable, 4-way lumbar control. You can adjust the bolsters, you can adjust the thigh support, you can recline, drop, lift, and slide the front seats. Taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So foot on the brake, engine start stop is a crystal material, and everything fires right to life. So this is your first time checking out a Genesis G70. Yes, this is a really premium interior, especially considering a sub $55,000 base price. I can only imagine what the sub $50,000 base would feel like, but considering for sub $55K you can get something that looks like this, I'd recommend just going with a Sport Prestige. Stitching all throughout, Napa leather. This quite literally feels like you're sitting inside of a plus $70,000 Mercedes-Benz or BMW. Genesis did a fantastic job. The steering wheel's top notch, it's thick. It's not BMW level thick, but it's Mercedes level thick. Solid 10 and 2, 9 and 3 fits perfect. We get perforation for the 9 and 3 area, stitching for the horn, Genesis emblem, red contrast stitching all throughout the steering wheel. The horn itself, loud and aggressive. People should be definitely getting out of your way. We'll do a window check, see if we get dual panes. We do get dual panes. Also a premium touch. The 3 Series M340i does not get dual pane windows. On the left side, we have our infotainment adjustments, the adjustments for the radar cruise control and lane keep assist. On the right side, voice commands, AM, FM, Sirius, volume, and skip. You can hang up and answer your phone calls and access your favorites. The infotainment, as you mentioned, right now we're looking at tire pressure. You can check out your advanced safety screen with traffic sign recognition, compass, tire pressure right back where we started, engine temp, oil temp, torque, and turbo gauge. You can select the contents, trip computer, sense reset, and right back to where we started. My personal favorites to look at all times would be this screen that shows the oil temperature, torque with pound-feet indicator, and a turbo boost gauge. Beneath that, fuel level, temperature outside, mileage on the vehicle, The tach doesn't have a red line, but I believe it'll shift around 6,200 RPM. On the left, we get 180 mile-an-hour speedometer with our fuel tank beneath it. Nice aluminum outlining the gauges, aluminum paddle shifters. The stocks have a really satisfying click, and as you see, we get the blind spot cameras as well. Unlike some of the Hyundai competition like the Calligraphy Palisade, we don't get two separate screens depending on which turn signal you use. Both cameras are shown through the tach area. We get auto headlamps, auto high beams, and we get auto rain sensing wipers. This is a fully loaded vehicle. We get power tilt and telescoping steering wheel. We get the interior brightness to the left, fuel cap release, and our trunk release, all electronic. Again, this is a super loaded vehicle. Two-person memory seats, more soft touch materials. Hopefully you get a good look at the aluminum outline pedals, floor mounted accelerator pedal, red contrast stitching for the stitched dashboard. I mentioned a 10.25 inch touchscreen. You can check out the map. The resolution is really solid. The response is just about excellent. Huge thumbs up to Genesis. We can see what else is available. Menu, phone projection, voice memo, climate, valet mode, quiet mode, HD radio. You guys can pause, take a look at everything else, and this would be our home screen, which you can potentially adjust. My personal favorite to look at all times would be the map, so we'll leave it there. Red contrast stitched leather trim for the middle of the dashboard. Crystal engine start stop button, little piano black around the air vents, hazards in the center. Shortcuts if you don't want to go through the touchscreen for map, nav, favorites, seek, track, radio, media, and setup. Volume and tune dial, both of them have a pretty satisfying resistance. This is new for 2024. We get this touch sensitive climate control. I'm usually not the biggest fan of touch sensitive climate controls, but since we still have a dial for the actual temperature control, not necessarily a big deal because you'll get used to where all the other controls are. And if you just press auto, the vents will adjust automatically with your heated and ventilated seat icon to the left, and for the passenger, it's to the right. We also have a heated steering wheel. Beneath that, wireless phone charging pad, 12 volt, 180 watt USB-A port, and here's the icon if you have the phone on the wireless charging pad. The materials for the center are actually rubberized. This is a super premium feeling interior with leather stitching for your knee will often hit. The gear slider controls the 8-speed auto transmission. Backup camera, let's take a look. Unbelievable resolution, guidance lines, and trajectory with an over-the-top 360-degree camera too. We can check out some of the different views, get an over-the-top, and we get a blind spot view, so you don't have to worry about scuffing up these beautiful 19-inch rims. Throwing her back in a park, you click a button, and it'll return right back to the home screen. And when you're in reverse, these mirrors come and tilt all the way down so you can see exactly where your wheel is. That helps you a lot if you're parallel parking in the city. Behind the gear selector is your drive mode selector. The drive modes include Eco, Comfort, Sport, and Sport Plus. We'll start the review off in Comfort, try out Sport Plus, maybe try out Eco as well, and just see what the differences are. You can turn off the traction control, you can disable the parking sensors, auto hold for the electronic parking brake, and you can access your parking camera with a click of a button at all times. More of that faux crystal trim around your cup holders with pushy things to keep the drinks in place. You'll fit a 24-ounce water bottle and maybe a 32, but I think you'll just fit two 24s with a pass-through, good spot for a phone or a wallet. The armrest is decently soft. I wouldn't call it gushy soft, but it's soft enough. We can open it up, decently spacious. You'll fit 5 or 6 12-ounce cans, USB-C port. Glove box, it is outlined in an aluminum latch. Line and felt, you'll fit 20 license plates. You should be able to fit a pair of shoes in there with no problem. The materials for the outside glove box are hard plastic, but they feel like they have a rubberized texture to it. Frameless auto-dimming rearview mirror, also new and standard for 2024. 3 garage home link settings. The interior lights are LED. We get a full suede Alcantara headliner and pillars. Like, that's what I'm saying. This is a top-notch premium sports sedan. Sunglass holder too. We can open up this moonroof. The shade opens up very quickly. The glass should follow. Yep, you don't have to press anything. The glass does go on top of the roof, so it sticks out a little bit like a sore thumb. See if it goes out any further. It does not. But to the end of the front row, very large opening. Poke our way out of here. Beautiful day today in Countryside, Clearwater, Florida. Sunny and 63 degrees, according to this 2024 G70. We can shut this glass right up. We'll leave the shade open so when we hop out back, you guys can see how much light is brought into the cabin. But that's about it for the front seat of this 2024 Genesis G70 3.3 Turbo Sport Prestige. Let's hop out back, see how much space is offered back here, as well as the overall quality of the material. So up top, still soft touch with the Napa leather diamond quilts in the center with a pretty soft armrest, aluminum trim beneath the aluminum door handle, 2 Lexicon speakers on the door panel. You get leather stitching for your knee will often hit. The storage is solid. You'll stack 2 6-inch subs on top of each other. We get an aluminum Genesis floor plate, really well bolstered rear seat, snap of leather with diamond stitching. The bolstering goes all the way out to the door frame, so very couch-like. Legroom doesn't look super impressive, but I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall, sitting behind my seat settings, and I still have about 2 inches of knee room, headroom. Starting to run out. I have about ½ an inch to an inch. So if you're taller than 6'2", you'll probably start running out of space in the back of a G70, but you can sit in the passenger seat and check this out. In the passenger seat, you just simply press this button right here and the passenger scoots forward and allows you to have just as much usable space as you could possibly want or need. But if you're under 6'2", you'll still be able to sit behind your seat settings with no problem. So for a compact sports sedan, this is a very solid amount of space. We get air vents too, 2 USB-C ports, cargo nets behind both of the front seats. The armrest, it's a little bit tough to access, but we do get a string to make things a little bit easier. Nice soft leatherette trim, 2 cup holders. You'll fit 16, maybe 24-ounce bottles in there. The interior lights back here, LED, cool. Very premium interior. The suede Alcantara headliner continues for the back and even for the rear portion. This is a top-notch premium vehicle. Let's hop out towards the cargo space, see how much space is offered back there, and then take this 2024 Genesis G70 out for a drive and see what it's got. So the button open of the trunk is up top. Press it one more time and it actually opens. The dealer plate falls though, but we'll get that figured out before we take it out for a drive. Anyway, we'll leave a link right here to show you exactly how much space is back here, but it looks impressive. Doesn't look as large as a Sonata, but considering that this is a compact, more so competing with like an Elantra, definitely doesn't look a whole lot smaller. We get a spare tire under here. You can throw some secret stuff underneath it. Net, so you can throw a grocery bag in there and not have to worry about it flying around. You can fold those second row seats down, 60-40 split, and you do so, I'd expect you to fit a 55-inch TV back here. The wheel wells do protrude a little bit, but the way they're cut out, it gives you a nice flat usable floor area. Anyway, let's get this dealer plate set up again so I don't get yelled at in case I get pulled over. We have 2 buttons to drop the trunk. This button drops it, this button drops it and locks the car. We don't need the car locked, so we'll press the button on the left. It immediately starts to close, and also a really premium feature. Speaking of premium features, there isn't anything in this car that I would expect for the price point that it doesn't already have. For the money, this is quite literally one of the best values out on the road today. It looks unbelievable. It has a ton of power. And speaking of power, let's take this 2024 Genesis G70 3.3 twin turbo Sport Prestige out for a drive and see what it's got. All right guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new 2024 Genesis G70 3.3T Sport Prestige. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. Starting off in comfort mode, with the adaptive suspension, it soaks up the bumps really well. The steering is very light in comfort mode. We'll see if that changes up in Sport and Sport Plus. But it really doesn't feel a whole lot rougher on these rocks than the GV70 or even the GV80 that we reviewed on this channel. The ride quality, I don't know how it is without the adaptive suspension, but with the adaptive suspension, it feels really solid. Take a step out here, lean into it about a third of the way. Ooh, wow. Whew. It's about 2,800 RPM and it just takes off. We can take a step out here, lean into it a little bit more, about half throttle. Oh my gosh. Whew. The shifts aren't super aggressive, at least not in the comfort mode, but we'll see how it is in Sport Plus and just see what changes up. The exhaust definitely gets a lot more aggressive immediately. Shifts do tighten up as well. We'll throw it in a little bit quicker than we should. Good handling on the gas. Yeah, this is a really, really quick car. And even in sport mode with the active exhaust, it's really not that loud. So you're not compromising luxury in exchange for sport like you are with the BMW M340i when you put that car into sport mode. All right, guys, we can take a step out here, throw it into second gear. Steering feels good. Hopefully we can try out some power here. This WRX definitely will. We'll give this guy in front of us a little bit of distance. Try it out in first gear. On the gas. Oh. Woo. Wow. This thing gets up and goes really, really quickly. We've driven a few of these 3.3 turbos, whether we're talking about the Stinger GT or the Genesis G70, and this 3.3 turbo is one of my favorite power plants on the road today. It quite literally competes with a B58 from BMW. Maybe not directly, but it's really close considering the price difference. All right, guys, we can take it out of comfort mode. We'll try it out in eco and see how it is on the highway. This WRX with the fart cannon. It's gonna be really tough to tell how quiet it is in this interior with that thing next to us. But let's get away from him. Whew, the power, even in eco mode, is insane. In eco mode, this car quiets down tremendously. Hopefully you can pick it up on camera. The dual pane windows isolate this car fantastically. And just cruising along in eco mode, the throttle response is solid. It's not overly dull at all. It's definitely dull enough to help the fuel economy a little bit, but it's not dull enough to make it so that you're not enjoying the power plant in this vehicle. You still lean into it, the boost builds up, and you accelerate solidly. No, of course, sport, you'll accelerate significantly quicker. Even in comfort mode, you'll accelerate quicker, but the brakes here feel really good with these 4-piston Brembos up front. There's still Brembos out rear, just not a multiple piston. All right, guys, taking a step out here, we can lean into it a little bit. Oh my gosh. You look down and you are flying. We don't have to beat it up a whole lot further. Shift this thing into its overdrive gears. And this is how I would drive it on a daily basis. So I set it up into custom mode, where I have the powertrain under sport. Whew, and it feels super strong. And also the steering under sport, but the suspension under comfort. And this gives you the perfect balance of that performance you're looking for, while still keeping this vehicle super, super comfortable. Hopefully you can pick up on camera just the balance that this vehicle provides. The heads-up display, we haven't mentioned it yet, but it's large. It shows you your advanced safety features. It has a digital speedo, and it shows you the traffic sign recognition. Whew. So much torque in this vehicle. One more time, guys, we can downshift on the gas. Oh, whew. The powertrain here is unbelievable. The brakes are unbelievable too. Just performance-wise, you get so much for the money with this car. One more time, second gear. We could throw it in a little bit quicker than we should. The grip is unbelievable, and this is in comfort suspension. One more time. On the gas. Guys, if you're looking for a luxury performance sedan, this is quite literally the best per dollar on the road today, and I would definitely recommend checking one out. And a big thanks to Jeremy and the rest of the management and staff here at Fitzgerald Genesis of Clearwater for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to our inventory below, and if you're looking for a new premium car or SUV in the Clearwater, St. Petersburg, Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Jeremy. And a huge thanks to all you guys for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.